Hi all, welcome back to another episode from Lifestyle Adventures Aus. I'm Deb.
I'm Adrian. How you going, guys?
We are going to do a 12-month/18-month review. We're sort of
We're in between. We're at
and
16 months now with having the Arctic.
Yep, and we're going to do a couple of tips and I don't know whether you call them tricks, but
Yeah, we've just got some things that we do, and you know what we love about the van, what's gone well, what hasn't gone well so far, and what we don't like, and what we like.
yeah.
So we've got the Arctic Frost 13 hybrid.
And we purchased it, as you all know, we flew down to Sydney. We hadn't seen the van, but we had spoken to Kyle at Arctic, and we actually saw another video of some of their vans in their showroom down in Pakenham. And we had a criteria with what we wanted, and we just kept coming back to this van. So, the time that we've had it, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so we did a 6-month review video, what we thought about it. 6 months, I think it was 6 months.
I think it was 3, but anyway, it doesn't matter.
And you know, that's had a few views, and so cheers for watching that. What are my thoughts on the van after 16 months, and how many kilometres do you reckon we've done? 5,000 or 6,000. Yeah, we went to the outback and back, so I love it. I reckon it's amazing. We haven't had much go wrong at all, and realistically, if you've watched the last video, nothing's gone wrong since that video. So it's been awesome. We love it.
We've had a couple of little things.
Like what?
Oh, when we first got it, the door latch was a bit off.
Tiny things.
Small things they're that small that I can't even really remember.
Yeah.
But
nothing's gone wrong since.
Yeah, after having it for the time that we've had it, we still find the bed extremely comfortable.
I slept 14 hours last night.
But he did come off
night work.
So the time that we've had it, we get in it, and last night was our first night camping at Gordon Country, and the same. Slept like a bomb.
Yep, it's great. The bed's amazing. What have we got on the mattress? Because people will ask. Some people put toppers, some people put the eggshell toppers.
Yeah, I don't have that. I went and bought a mattress topper from Harris Scarf, and it was 50% off, and it was maybe that thick.
So what's that, an inch?
Yeah. And then underneath, I think I put 2 mattress protectors because I'm really anal about keeping our mattresses clean. But that's all we've got on. And last night we had on a doona, the same doona from the beginning. And it did get cold about 3 in the morning because we're sort of in a mountain gully, and we had another couple of light blankets on. But other than that,
yeah, but so, okay, about the mattress. The mattress is the fold in half kind. The bed folds out at the back, which you might be able to see behind me. It's so easy to set up. We went camping in Lennox Head a few weeks ago now, and it was pouring when we were setting up. The rain held off right until we set up, as always the way, as Murphy's Law. And, mate, I was in and out, bang, bang, bang. Deb jumped in, folded the mattress over and does what she does inside. I do the outside. And by the time you pop the back up, I mean, the slowest part's dropping the wheels down at the back. By the time you pop that roof up, you're under cover anyway, so you can pull the sides out, pull the back up.
And it's all on gas struts. Yeah. And since we've bought our van, we went to the Gold Coast show in, was it February? End of January or February, I can't remember.
Watch the walkthrough videos of some other vans if you want to check that out.
And they have made modifications to their vans. Yep. This company is just evolving all the time.
Yeah, I think they're really progressive. We took the van for a service a couple of weeks ago up at Caboolture, just before the cyclone, and we noticed that it's got a couple of new boxes, a new box on the front, new boxes on the back. they're looking good.
And look, I've got to say, and we've said it that many times, the after service.
Alright guys, sorry about that. Quick camera change because we lost the battery in the other one.
So I was at the customer service and after service. We deal with Kyle, Brendan, we have dealt with Jono and Mariah, who's the customer service manager, and we can't speak highly enough about
Yep.
all of them.
Yep.
You call Mariah and she's so on the ball with products, what they've got coming out.
Yep.
She's
If you need
fantastic.
something sent out.
Yep.
So let's move on to let's go to say, what do you think of the strength of the van? Is anything, what do you think of the strength? Like, nothing's fallen apart.
Nothing.
Gone over some pretty rough roads out at Lightning Ridge, out to bloody Yowa, which was it's a mile away.
Yep.
And
When we were camping in Lennox Head about 3 weeks to a month ago, the people next door to us, we ended up having drinks with them, and they said to us, the van looks great. You've had it a couple of weeks. Is this your first trip? And we were like, no, we've had it over 12 months.
yeah,
And
it stays looking great as long as you wash it after you. I'll give you a quick look how it looks at the moment. Back. She's filthy, so she's going to have a good clean when we get home, but we do that anyway, don't we?
yeah, we're really particular
Yeah, we are.
to keep it clean and looking like brand new,
Yeah, we
aren't
like
we?
to look after our stuff.
Yeah,
It's
we've
still
always
got-
been like that.
And like I said, it's built strong. I haven't been worried about anything falling off. You hear some horror stories about things breaking. Nothing. I'm confident with it behind the car.
Well, I'm getting more towing experience now, and with the new car, with the Land Cruiser, I had half an hour driving yesterday into where we're staying. If you know Gordon Country, once you turn off, you've got about half an hour to get in there. And Adrian said, how does the car feel with the van on the back? I said, you can't even tell.
Yeah, and it's a pretty shitty road, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a pretty bumpy road, a bit of, you've got to go through. There was a little bit of flooding because they've had a lot of rain here. Do you want to sit down
a lot
there?
of dip sections where it's sort of shoot out in the potholes and stuff, but so I don't have a problem at all with the strength and durability of this van. I think it's built to last, and we all know they're manufactured in China, but you hear, if you're on the hybrid groups on Facebook or whatever, you hear some horror stories about some other brands breaking and cracking. And
But I guess that comes back to the owner and the team that they have. I guess they just reject things if it's not up to their
yeah,
standard.
that's right. And everything gets fitted out here in Australia internally, and
Yeah, and I wouldn't even
electrical.
think that there would be a lot to reject. And if there is, you don't hear about it. We have never had I've never read any negative feedback. Actually, I have once when somebody was complaining about a really bad handover. I still find it hard to believe, but that's what they said, and I respect that. But we've only ever heard positive about the vans.
Just on that, if I felt like I was getting a bad handover or I wasn't quite sure about something, while you're getting your handover, guys, just say, oh, okay, can we just go back over that, because I don't quite understand it or not quite sure about it. Like Arctic sell vans, that's what they do. So if you've got a question while you're picking up your vans, ask the question. There's no stupid questions. A lot of people haven't had vans and you're moving up from a tent or a rooftop tent, or even if you're downgrading from a caravan, and hybrids are a little bit different. They've got their own little systems going on. It's not the same as a full-size caravan. If you've got your questions asked, don't go, oh, I had a bad handover. Well, did you ask the questions you needed to ask? Or but at the same time, even if you didn't think of the question at the time, and then something happens and you're not quite sure, jump on the Facebook group, because there's a lot of experienced owners that have got the answers for you, or even just give Brendan or Cole or any of the guys a ring, and they'll sort you out.
Yeah, look, I have seen a few negative comments on the Facebook page, but I don't understand that. I guess that's just us. We would, if we did have something go wrong with the van, rather than slam them over social media, we'd pick up the phone.
Yeah, just ring up and go, oh, hey guys, I've got this going on. And from all I've heard, they'll just go, yeah, no worries, we'll take care of it. Bring your van in and we'll sort it out for you.
They are so approachable. They bend over backwards. They go above and beyond.
Yeah, I think the great thing is too, Kyle and Brendan have got, I think, sort of 35 years experience in the industry, so between them, so
probably more between them. They're so knowledgeable.
Yeah.
With the wealth of knowledge within that company, you cannot go wrong with them, and they're just great people, aren't they?
So let's talk about the van.
The van.
Should we go external first?
Sure.
So I'm just sort of looking around thinking about the external. So we've had no chips on the front box. We've had no chipping on the front at all from any stones, and we don't have rock tamers or a stone stomp or anything like that, and we've driven plenty of outback roads and dirt roads. We've had no problems with the mechanism up and down. I know most of the new ones are electric. We've got the manual ones. No dramas there. We've had no dramas with the solar. We've had no dramas with the roof. We've had no dramas with the suspension, the water tanks, the water pump.
Nothing.
We've had no dramas with any latches or hinges. I got one of these little silver hinges. I don't know if you can see behind me. I got one of them replaced. They just sent it to me in the mail and I replaced it. Every now and again, if you get a bit of WD-40 or a bit of silicone spray and just give them a wipe so they've got a little coating on them, just stops them getting dirty and gunky. The fridge slide, all the slides, the slide out drawers, the awning. Nothing doesn't work. It all works, and it works well.
We did have a stain on the awning where a wet leaf.
It was from Gordon?
No, it was from Lennox Head. One of the times we went to Lennox.
Yeah, a wet gum leaf.
A wet gum leaf, and we didn't realise, and we put the awning away. Next time we got it out, it was all stained. So I just got a baby wipe. I can't even remember where it was, to be honest.
We should probably give it a wipe over again at some point, but
yeah,
it come off, and it's a nice material. The awning, we've got it tied down. Let's just show you these quickly. These are from Bunnings, and they're about $13. I know companies.
That's in our tips and tricks.
Is it? Oh, this is a first tip and trick. Companies sell these exact same for about $30 or $35, and then you got to pay delivery. You get them from Bunnings, guys. From Bunnings in the ratchet aisle, $13 for a 2-pack. And what it is, it's just a little ratcheting rope that I run up to a little tie gear strap, and you just bang, 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 peg the awning down. These pegs are from Bunnings as well, $13 or something for a box. And we peg the awning down and just put it back. And we've never had a problem with the awning. Oh, that's no good. Sorry, people. We've never had a problem with the awning lifting or in any wind or anything like that, have we? And
we've had it in some pretty strong wind.
Yep. So that's the first little tip and trick. You don't need to buy. I mean, we've all seen the navigator straps and things like that. They're about $80 to $100 for a pair, and they're awesome and strong. But these things are sweet.
We got onto these from Mr. Buckaroony.
Buckaroony.
And then they'd only just got them into Bunnings. We ended up getting a couple of sets, the longer ones and the shorter ones, and we rate them.
So that's about an 8mm cord. I think you can get like a 4 or 5mm cord, which is a little bit shorter. The length is shorter, so I reckon that's a good 2.5 meters. You can get a shorter one, which we've got just as a backup for anything we might need. I actually use them on the other side where we've got the grey sunshade for the other side that just slides along the.
Something happened there, but
happened to the camera.
I'm not sure.
So the sail track, just slide the grey. What do you call them things? Solar shade or whatever.
Yep.
And we'll just use that to peg the corners down with the little ones, and they're bloody fantastic, eh?
Yeah, they're great.
So what else?
I don't think...
We haven't had a problem with anything.
The only other thing with the outside, we went camping not this Christmas, the last Christmas, down at...
Sleepy Hollow.
No, Ponderosa.
It's at Sleepy Hollow.
Oh, down Sleepy Hollow. The guy who owned the hip camp came around and said, yeah, look, we're in for a big storm tonight, tie everything down. We're like, yeah, okay. We put the awning in, and we had our 2 gazebos out, and ours was tied to Justin and Tamara's. It ended up being a cyclone. So I was inside the van with our dog Ellie and their little dog Minnie. They were holding these, well, allegedly. I didn't see it.
Justin got blown over. It was hectic.
And we didn't find out it was a cyclone until the next day.
They said it was a hurricane. It wasn't a cyclone because that Cyclone Alfred was the last cyclone, but it was a tail of
something.
Tornado or something.
Yeah, that's what it was, a little tornado.
It wasn't a little tornado.
Yeah, they said it was pretty hectic. And I was still inside and they came in and they're like, that was so bad, this is what happened. And I said, don't be ridiculous. You're all like exaggerating.
Deb was in the van safe as, didn't even feel bad.
The van didn't hardly even move. I could hear the wind, but other than that, they were like the Wizard of Oz, we're going to get blown away.
We were holding these gazebos down and laughing with the wind blowing in our faces and raining for about 45 minutes, just laughing, thinking how stupid is this. But we had to hold it. We couldn't pack it all away because we had stuff underneath it, and Justin's 80 series was right behind it, so it would have just blown straight into the car. And they were in a rooftop tent.
They were in a rooftop tent. How they survived that, yeah. But
anyway,
they have a van now.
Yeah. So, mate, if you're looking to buy a hybrid, I would hands down say buy an Arctic. For the quality of the van, I was going to say car, quality of the van, the customer service, just everything.
And they have, this year, Arctic have announced they have a get-together, which is happening down in...
What's potentially happening in...
We're not sure what month yet.
Port Pumpkin, I think it's called, near Bright.
They are paying for this. This is as a thank you to all of their customers.
Yep, an owners get together.
An owners get together. We are going to make the effort. We live on the border of New South Wales and Queensland. Yep. So this is in Victoria, and we're going to make the effort to go down.
Yep. Yeah, they're going to put on potentially a band. They're paying for the site for everyone. So
yeah, so I think it is if you're an owner or you have bought a van or you're looking to purchase a van.
Yep.
That's the invitation. It's going to be amazing. We can't wait for it, hey?
It's going to be a weekend. It's going to be chilly down there. It's going to be probably May, June, July, August or September by the looks of things. We haven't quite found out yet. We're still doing some finer details. But yeah.
Hopefully you'll get, Brendan, Kyle, I'm sure they'll all be there. You'll get to meet them.
Yep.
It's going to be...
Any questions you have,
yep.
Look in people's vans and see if people have done things differently. Like we might see people with Frost 13 and they go, oh, we've done this or we've done that. We go, oh, that's cool, steal that idea.
We're more than happy to show you through our van and show you what we've done. Not that we've done much, but even when we're at campgrounds, people say, do you mind if we have a look inside? We're always more than happy to show people around our van.
Yeah, not many people they've been around for a while now, but people say, oh, I've never seen one of them before. But there's plenty getting around.
Yep. So we might do... we've got a couple of,
You've got a little list here.
yeah, little list. Now, the stabiliser legs, they're not meant to lift your van.
No.
And I have heard of a couple of people, or a few people, who have broken their stabiliser legs because they've used the legs to try and lift their van, and it's not meant for that.
Yeah, it's just meant, like as it's named, stabilising. So you just put it to the ground so it's nice and firm, front and back, so the van's not sort of rocking and rolling. Just keeps it, planted to the ground. So I've got a drill driver that I use, and a lot of people say, oh, you shouldn't use that, and you probably shouldn't. But as long as you run it on really slow, otherwise you're doing that. You got that thing where you're flicking it like the old carb wheel brace. If you just go nice and slow, you've got quite sensitive gears inside. You don't want to strip the gears, so if you go nice and slow with the drill driver, it's still faster, way faster than doing it manually. And just go into it, feel the pressure on the ground. That's it.
The next one is our fridge door. We ended up insulating it.
We did, and I'll quickly show you that. Here's the insulation. Door, drop down. Put a fan in here, and some lights. Actually on at the moment. And I've just got a little bit of this insulation that's, I think, 20 mil or 10 mil thick from Bunnings. Just cut it out. It's got a bit of masking tape around the outside, which is this yellow, so the polystyrene doesn't come out like here. And I reckon it makes a difference, eh, Deb?
Well, I didn't really notice before, but
Yeah, it just stops that heat pouring, and when you've got the sun pouring on that front door, it's just giving it that little bit of extra insulation.
yeah, but to be honest, we didn't pay for the insulation.
No, I found it on the side of the road.
Adrian found it on the side of the road, and he thinks that it's come off somebody's truck.
It's come off of you.
So we probably wouldn't have done it
Yeah,
unless.
no, I was looking at it, remember? I was looking at it. It's only $30 for a 2.4 by 1.2 sheet. It's only $29.95 from Bunnings. But, and I was looking at it. I was driving home one day and I was like, that looks like that stuff. It's got the silver lining. And lo and behold, jumped out. There's a full sheet of it that must have blown off someone's ute. Thought you're never going to find the person. He's never come back looking for it. So,
So,
score.
yeah. The next thing, we haven't installed it yet, but this is actually a shoe rack. And when their camping sales come on at Aldi, they had these. So we ended up getting two. But previously to that, we bought one from BCF, which I think was $25. And what we do is when we first walk into the van, if our shoes are filthy, we pop them in here.
Yeah, so it's perfect for a pair of shoes. It's got some little clips there if you want to hook it up, and then when you're not using it, it just folds down small.
Folds down to nothing. We have also seen, not
The sun.
with Arctic, but with another van, they have bought a basket from Bunnings, which they hook onto their step, which is removable, and they just pop their shoes in there.
Just a
Do you mind, Ellie?
little wire basket that clips on under your step.
Yeah, and I guess that just saves. I mean, we don't tend to wear dirty shoes in the van anyway. We've got thongs that we put on, but if we do hop in the van and we're camping and it's muddy, hey, stop it. There's a couple of people down at the creek. We just pop them in that, and we're also going to put one in the car because this weekend it's quite muddy here, so we've got our gum boots on. Gum boots won't fit in there, but our slides from when we change the shoes over. The next thing we did, I'm sure you have all heard of fusion locks. we installed fusion locks in the bathroom, and rather than hanging our towels on the front of the bathroom door, they actually fit inside the bathroom now. So we ended up installing 2 for towels, 1 near the hand basin with a hand towel, and then we installed the Fusion soap dispenser. And then on the outside of the...
This is riveting viewing with her growling.
What's that doing again?
It's just telling us it's 20 minutes. Oh, shit.
Adrian just dropped our dog.
Be on film.
Gosh. On the outside of the bathroom, we installed one. I bought a macrame hat holder, so our hats are there.
Sorry, Bubba.
Now, this tip actually came from Brendan.
What the hell's going on here?
To turn your front tap on the drawbar once you've packed up and you're leaving, because it alleviates the tap pressure.
Yeah, so turn on the tap with the pump off to take any pressure that's built up from the water pump in the line. You know, if you leave that pump on or your mains water on, these lines aren't made to take constant pressure. So just this acts as like a bleeder, an air bleeder. So you just open up your valve, bleeds any water or any pressure out of the line, and
we do that now, and we were surprised the first time we did it how much water came out of the front tap.
Yeah, so it's just good. It just relieves the pressure in the lines, which is great.
And we did the tie down of the awnings, and the last thing is, we all know about it, nobody talks about it, toilet paper in your cassette.
Yeah.
Now,
really good.
If you want to go off grid for longer, we don't put toilet paper in our cassette if we're doing wheeze. Well, you normally...
I don't need toilet paper.
You don't need toilet paper, but if there's not a lot of people around, he'll pee outside, as men do. But what I do is I don't put toilet paper in the cassette. I have a garbage bag in the bathroom, and I have nappy bags, and I put my toilet paper in the nappy bags, put it in the garbage bag, and then we dispose of it. So you get more time off grid.
If you're putting your toilet paper in your cassette, not only, as you blokes will know, most guys probably empty it. Some girls do too. If you've got full of toilet paper, it doesn't want to, it blocks it up and it's hard to get out. And the last thing you want to be doing is shaking the unit and making a mess while you're trying to empty at the dump point. So,
yeah, and you've done that when we've had toilet paper in there and there's been a line up.
When we first started, we sort of didn't really know, and we were putting toilet paper in there, and there's been people waiting, and I'm trying to poke it out with a stick, and yeah, it's no good. We haven't seen a composting toilet. We've never used a composting toilet. We've heard they're fantastic. So far, we're happy with how we manage our cassette. Composting would be good if you were travelling in your van or you had kids, but we're generally at this stage weekend warriors that go away when I get annual leave a few weeks, 4 or 5 weeks a year. So
that might be a different story then.
Yeah.
That we,
we're going to go for longer. We get a composting.
Yeah, so we'd have to be close to dump points or have a spare cassette. At the moment, when we're camping down near where we live, Tweed Shire Council does not have a dump point.
So you got to pay. Some caravan parks want $10 or $15 to dump at a dump point, which is, I know they've got fees to pay because they got to get paid to get a truck to take it away, but
it is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah,
I actually sent them an email and they came back with it'll be graffitied.
Yeah, it'll be what's the word the kids do? They said, "Oh, we have to put up cameras. People will damage it." I'm like,
graffiti it.
Who's going near a dump point? Like, I don't even want to go there, and I'll have to use it. So no one's going to go and muck around where there's a pile of shit.
There's so many tourists that go into Tweed, and of course we're on the border, Tweed, Coolangatta. There's nowhere to dump it. I would rather have my rates go up a little bit to pay for a dump point, even for other people using it.
Well, we've seen people emptying their canisters in public toilets or on the side of the road.
On the side of the road.
That's rank.
Or, you know, as you're walking down the beach, you've got the bush either side. We've seen them emptying their canisters in the bush.
Yeah, it's poor. It's poor.
Poor from the area we are.
Well, it's poor from people for doing it, and it's pretty poor that the council, you know, Tweed Heads is such a high tourist area. You know, we've got the Gold Coast and the Northern Rivers and Byron Bay, and everything's all around our area, and it's all built around tourism, and they can't cater to it.
Yeah, Christmas time we went to a caravan park to try and use their dump point in our area, and they said no, you can't because it's Christmas.
Yeah, there's too many people.
And when it's not busy, they wanted to charge $20 to use their dump point.
Was it 20, was it?
Yep, $20. I couldn't believe it. But I think that's a wrap up. We're waiting for our mates to come now, and we've got another 2 nights here. We love it here. We're right near a creek, and that's, you know, we couldn't be happier with our van.
Yep, we love it. If you're interested in getting one or thinking about it, do your research. Get on the Arctic Facebook group and ring the guys at Arctic Campers. Any store, they've got a new store up here in South Australia shortly. A couple in Melbourne, one in Tasmania, New South Wales. The only states, NT and WA, they don't have one, but they're looking at the WA.
I think they'll be coming, and I'm also happy. Well, we've spoken about it. We're more than happy if people are in our area or close to our area. If you wanted to come and have a look at our van, I'm more than happy to show you around our van. And
if you've got any questions, chuck them in the comments. We'll get back to everyone. So, yeah, we love our van, and there's nothing gone wrong, and we'd buy another one, you know. If this happened to get written off for whatever reason, you know, we rolled it or whatever the case may be, got a tree dropped on it, we have no doubt we'd get another Arctic, would we?
Oh, 100%. I wouldn't look at anything else.
Yeah.
We're with Arctic for the long haul now. I would not look at another van because of the quality, you know. The price. Definitely the customer service and the after service. It is.
Yep, second to none.
Yep, and we hear the same thing about Arctic all the time.
Yep.
But we need to cut wood because we're going to start a fire.
Yep.
And wait for our friends. So thanks for watching again. We love bringing these videos to you.
Legends, we love yous.
And we'll see you in the next video.
Right,
Bye for now.
Take a look around at our view before we go.